It's a wonderful day, and it gives me pleasure to welcome all of our viewers to Healing, Hope, and Health, the program proudly brought to you by Hospice of Washington County. For several years now, our community has been abuzz about Doey's House. From the day Hospice of Washington County announced this project back in 2013, to the groundbreaking in 2016, to the much anticipated grand opening less than 1 month from now on September 7th, our community has come together, worked diligently, and donated generously to make this shared dream a reality. It is a privilege to introduce Pat Stine, Doey's House clinical manager, who will oversee the day-to-day operations of Doey's House and manage the compassionate medical care that will be delivered there. Pat has stepped on every rung of the nursing ladder. She earned an AA degree in nursing at Hagerstown Community College and then pursued both her Bachelor's of Science in Nursing and a Master's in Healthcare Management at National American University, where she graduated summa cum laude. Her nursing career, which has spanned 28 years, includes intensive care nursing, surgical services, education, healthcare management, and hospice. It's a pleasure to have Pat on the show today. She's going to tell us all about Doey's House. Welcome, Pat.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So, Pat, as the clinical manager of Doey's House, you have an incredibly important job. What will some of your roles and your responsibilities be there?
Well, I'd like to tell you that, first of all, I came to the team May 8th, and that was first a very great honor for me.
Yeah.
And once I came to the team, the responsibilities and the roles just started to bombard.
Right.
And what happened was we started to look at all the, what we call the certifications that need to be put into place. We also looked at policies and procedures that needed to be implemented and written. Now I'm in the process of continuing to build the team that's going to be out there at Doey's House. But I think the greatest role and responsibility that I have at this time is just to make sure that we provide excellent care to our patients and to their families so that whenever they leave Doey's House, they can say that was the greatest experience they had.
Oh, that's terrific. And you know, I think your background just really positions you well to be successful and to make that difference in those families' lives. So we're so glad you're part of hospice.
Thank you.
So who will benefit from the services at Doey's House?
Well, the individuals that benefit are those that are hospice patients, and those patients come with a diagnosis of a terminal illness with a prognosis of less than 6 months, and they come into Doey's with that disease process.
Okay, and I know that you're also going to really work hard at supporting the families there. So what sorts of services will be there to support the families?
Well, one thing is Doey's will be a 24/7 operation, so families can be there 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. In the patients' rooms, we have family rooms located right in the rooms that they can go in there and they can close off a pocket door if they want to get rest, but at the same time they are very close to their family.
Right.
We also have a meditation room in there that if they need to just spend some time spiritually. We also offer services for the families that they can use a kitchen area that is mainly designed for families. And we also have a play area for children, and so families can bring their children and not wonder where are they at this time. They're with me where they should be. So it is a 24/7 facility.
That's terrific. So Pat, I know you said that all the patients have to be hospice eligible, but what signifies or enables a person to be admitted to Doey's House as opposed to receiving hospice care at home?
Well, besides being hospice eligible, once that's determined that they are, then they have to be what we call GIP eligible, mm-hmm. and that's general inpatient. And that criteria means that they have to come in with pain or some kind of symptom that is unmanageable in their current home settings.
Okay.
It requires close medication monitoring and close monitoring from the nurses.
Mm-hmm. And you work closely with both the hospice Dr. Bakers, the physician, the attending physician, as well as the patient's primary care doctor, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, and Pat, where do the Doey's House referrals come from?
The referrals come mainly from our own Hospice of Washington County patients, so they'll come from there. They will come from the PCPs, the providers out in the community. They will come from assisted livings. They will come from acute care. Mainly we collaborate with Meritus Medical Center. They will also come from skilled nursing facilities. They will come from home health care. We'll mm-hmm. call and give us a referral. They can come from family and friends. Anybody can call in and say they have a hospice referral and then they would like to know about the services offered at Doey's House. One of the most important things to know is with a hospice house that people can cross the state lines. So that's a little bit different
Right.
than whenever you're using the full entity of Hospice of Washington County in an inpatient facility. You can cross over the state lines and use that inpatient facility.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pat, I was wondering, as you begin to embark on this career, we have an opening of Doey's House on September 7th. What are you most excited about, and what gives you the most satisfaction in your role in helping to make this shared dream a reality?
I think the most exciting thing for me right now is the collaboration that's taking place. Right now we're bringing a lot of different entities in, partners that we have, and we are touring them through the facility so that they can see what a wonderful facility is, and then to know that we have an excellent professional team that's coming together to provide that service to our patients and families. I think that's what's more exciting to me than anything.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Sure. You may not be as excited as I am about Doey's House opening in the near future, but believe me, this is a big deal. Doey's House will be an incredible resource for our community. It will enable qualified patients nearing the end of life and their families to experience compassionate medical care in a home-like environment when home is not an option. It will allow nurses like Pat to put into practice the beautiful words expressed in the nurse's prayer, which goes like this: "Please help me to bring comfort when there is pain, courage when there is fear, hope when there is despair, acceptance when the near end is near, and a gentle touch with tenderness, patience, and love." I'd like to thank Pat for joining us today for today's program, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with our next guest right after this short commercial break.